What is the right way to copyright your music? How can you be sure your song is protected? And what are the right steps to ensure that? Well, if you've asked yourself questions like these, then keep watching. Because today we're going over some music copywriting basics so you can make sure that your song is safe. Let's blast off and get started. JM in your universe. Konnichiwa friends, I'm Jonathan Miller and welcome back to Jonathan Miller Music, helping you become a better indie artist. I make futuristic and outer space inspired dance pop music, and every Wednesday on this channel I'm helping others take their music to level 2. If that sounds good, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell. If not, oh come on, come for the info, stay for the sarcasm and side comments. It's a party. You know, the type of party that we don't have in person because of social distancing and a global pandemic, and this isn't Zoom. So it's not a Zoom party or a meeting, so I don't really know what kind of party that makes this. Well, think about that and subscribe. Alright, so before we talk about music copywriting basics, I have to get a few things out. I obviously have to remind you that I am not a music lawyer, and please don't take this as official legal counsel. Also, I'll primarily be talking about how to copyright music here in the US, but I'll also be touching a little bit on the UK as well. Every country's process is just a little bit different, so as always, make sure you do your own research on your own country's laws, and if you're still unsure, consult a lawyer. Now that being said, I am an artist who's done this for over 13 years. So I am gonna share some copywriting music basics to hopefully alleviate that little bit of stress you might be feeling over someone stealing your music. So by the time this video is over, you'll know how to protect your music and what rights you have as the full copyright owner. Now with all that out of the way, let's get started. First of all, here in the US and the UK, lyrics and music are protected by copyright as soon as they are made tangible in some sort of way. So this can either be a rough recording on your cell phone in your voice memos app, or it can be you writing your lyrics down on paper. It just has to be tangible, or in other words, able to be touched. Obviously, if it's a recording, you can't really touch that, but you know what I mean. Plainly, your copyright of your music is created as soon as it's made tangible. So you write down your lyrics, you record it in your phone, boom, your copyright exists. Now, the main thing that people get confused on is in order to get the full benefit of copyright protection, you must register that copyright. Here in the United States, you do that with the US Copyright Office. In the UK, however, according to my research, there's no official way of registering your copyright. You just need to make sure that you can provide evidence of your creation by either emailing it or mailing it to yourself so that a timestamp is created. We'll touch on in a little bit why that doesn't quite fly here in the US, but more on that in a minute. In India, I believe there's like a hearing process you need to go through. So like I said before, every country is a little bit different, so make sure you do your own research on your own country's laws. Also, you cannot copyright a song title, nor can you copyright a chord progression. You don't own the minor scale, you don't own the major scale. You can, however, copyright music, lyrics, both of those, new versions, new arrangements, audio recordings, etc. Now, here's a quick 6-step process for how to copyright a song with the US Copyright Office. Step 1, record your song in a tangible medium, either written or digitally. Step 2, register for an account at the US Copyright Office website. Step 3, fill out the copyright registration application. Step 4, pay the registration fee. There's always a fee. Step 5, submit a copy of your song, either by mail or uploading your song digitally. Step 6, wait for your registration to be processed. This can take between 3 to 5 months if you uploaded your song digitally, or it can take up to 7 to 10 months if you did it by mail. I know that seems like a long time, but people are registering their copyrights every day, so just have some patience. Now going back to touching on the mailing it to yourself thing for my US viewers, mailing a copy of your song to yourself is nicknamed the poor man's copyright. Now that's great that you have that, but here in the USA, we love to be as difficult as possible for whatever reason. It won't actually do you much help and it won't hold up in court. So basically, if you are in the US and you really want to make sure that your music is copyrighted, make sure you register your copyright with the US Copyright Office. So now, as the full copyright owner of your song, you might be wondering what exactly your rights are or what they include. Well, my fellow indie artist, The 1976 Copyright Act grants exclusive rights to the owner of a copyright, which they themselves, as the owner, can exercise or authorize others to exercise on their behalf. These rights include, but are not limited to, the right to reproduce the work, the right to produce derivative works, i.e. translations, abridged versions, remixes, etc., the right to distribute copies of your song to the public for sale or rent, the right to perform your song publicly, the right to display your song publicly, the right to perform your work publicly by means of digital audio transmission, that just means streaming. Now, with these rights, there are limitations of those rights, and those include fair use, which is like criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, etc., and what's called a compulsory license, which allows limited uses of copyrighted works upon payment of specified royalties.
Okay, John, but like, what does all that legal talk mean?
Well, if someone wanted to use parts of your song for teaching or commentary or critique, they are covered by your fair use rights limitation. And they can use parts of your song in, let's say, a YouTube video. Now, that example gets a lot more complicated, which is a topic in an entire video for another day, but I digress. Now, at this point, you might be wondering,
well, what about royalties, licensing, TV and film, performance rights organizations? What is all that?
Here's the tea on that. If you want to get paid for your music, which I highly recommend you do, you need to join a pro like BMI or ASCAP or SOCAN, so you make sure that you're getting your royalties for your song. You as the copyright owner get to make and distribute the first copy of your song. And this can be on sheet music, vinyls, digital media, CDs, tapes, etc. But you get to distribute the first sound recording of your song. Others who, let's say, want to cover your song must obtain what's called a mechanical license. And then they must pay you royalties for that, which your pro will collect on your behalf. If someone wanted to use your song for, let's say, a TV show or a movie, they must obtain what's called a synchronization license, or a sync license as you're more commonly gonna hear it, and your pro, again, will collect those royalties on your behalf. So to clear all this up and review, a copyright for your song is created as soon as your song is made tangible in some sort of way. You write your song down on paper, boom, copyright is created. In the US, however, you must register that copyright with the US Copyright Office in order to receive your full copyright benefits. A performance rights organization registers your song's title and your ISRC, International Sound Recording Code, to track your song's performance and makes sure that you get paid your royalties as defined by copyright law. So now you've got some strong basics in copywriting music. I hope I answered as many of your questions as I possibly could, but now you should be able to rest a little easier knowing just how to keep your music a little safer. So that is my video on music copywriting basics for indie artists. Question of the video: what made you want to pursue a career in music in the very beginning? Leave me a comment below letting me know. If you want to check out more indie artist tips and tricks, I've left some links in the description below so you can check them out. And if you like me and you like what I do, consider joining me on Patreon, like Mike here, to help this channel grow and get all sorts of fun rewards. You can also follow me on Spotify. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new. I put out new videos every single Wednesday. Once again, I'm Jonathan Miller, and I will see you next time. See you later.
I am a machine, not a robot, not an operation electronically. My messages are magnetic vibrations, once a pioneer.